Hello. Hey, it worked. Hooray. Well, guys, today we are testing out Streamlabs OBS mobile controller, and turns out it works. So thought we'd try it out, but welcome to StreamKey, everybody. Thank you for being patient with us during the power outage. That was a little bit rough, but we're finally here now, so thank you all for waiting. And today I have the one and only GamerDadNC back on the show for the second time being interviewed. You've been on the call-in show at least once.
A few times.
Yeah, a couple of times. So, but welcome, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Actually, now that we actually got this going, right?
Now that we actually have power, that's kind of helpful for running a podcast. Cool. Well, so if you guys haven't seen StreamKey, this is a show dedicated to helping you improve on Twitch as streamers every week. And this week, again, interviewing GamerDadNC, we're going to be talking about things you can do behind the stream. So when you're not streaming, when you're not live, what should you be doing to get the most out of your time to make sure that you can grow, network, all those buzzwords that we hear a lot of. Sure. We're going to break those down today, get a big overview. So it'll be just me and GamerDad for about the first hour or first 40 minutes. And then the last 20 minutes will be Q&A with you guys. So if you have questions about what the heck does networking mean, what's the best way to network, or any other things that come up during the show, you can ask them to GamerDad or myself. So we will be covering that. But first of all, I just want to start with some warm-up questions for GamerDad. So first of all, again, most people probably know you by now, but do you want to quickly just give a overview of your channel for people who maybe haven't seen you before?
Sure. I'm currently a creative streamer, which will be changing next month with the changes of the loss of creative. So I'm a creative streamer. I paint minifigures live on stream from a tutorial perspective. So just about everything I do is not like a secret. So I leave the channel open for everybody to ask questions and learn about what they're doing. So it's a way for me to kind of share and interact with my community a little bit different than some other channels.
Sure. Yeah, it's a very unique channel for sure. I don't know many other figure painting channels, but you seem like you've done a great job with it, so I love it. New question, because you've been on the show before.
Sure.
So my normal question for my second question won't work here, but I decided to ask you, do you have a favorite game of all time that just growing up or at any point that you love?
Command and Conquer games.
Yeah?
Like the old school third person, I guess, strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Alert was probably the one that stuck out the most. I remember playing that all the time with my brothers or my dad or something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. I never played those, but I've heard a lot about them. So.
Well, it's you got StarCraft, you've got any of those like base builders, Dawn of War. They're all the same, but I don't think Command and Conquer was the original one, but it was definitely the most popular to me when I was first getting into that style of game.
Gotcha. Cool. Last question here. Again, I think you may have shared it before, but do you have a favorite memory streaming on Twitch so far?
I would probably say one happened not on my channel. I had a musical streamer or family reach out when I was talking to them in chat. My daughter climbed into my lap and started waving. Now she's almost 2. Starts waving at these people saying hi, and then they stopped, they waved hi back, and they sang to her.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
so,
cool.
they play music on the channel anyway, so they had me pick some Disney songs for her, and they sang to her, and then of course she grabs the earbud and so most of my fondest memories are around something that she does on the channel. There's some clips of my interactions with her. So
that's awesome. I hadn't heard of that, so that's a cool story to hear. All right, so let's get into the main discussion here today, guys, which again is what to do when you're not streaming, how to make the most of your off-stream time. So first of all, I want to know, because you came to me with this idea for a topic, so why is this something that you want to talk about? Do you kind of resonate especially well with this topic for some reason?
I wouldn't say that I'm like the pro or the expert at it, but I've found a way that's comfortable for me and other people have come to appreciate, because I've started to wonder, like in my small community, right? Creative's very small, just like some people who play specific games that are very small. There's not a lot of viewers out there to find you just from within Twitch, right? On that browse page. Now that's probably getting better in the next month or two, but hopefully, yeah. Right now, I had to figure out, how do I get people to find me without just having myself on the left column of Twitch. So
interesting. So just figuring out different ways to be able to do that besides just being live. Like, what are some other ways to kind of reach out and be found?
Sure.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's then get a sort of big overview of your thoughts of what some of the best ways to spend your time off Twitch are, and then we'll go into those after I kind of know where you land on that.
Right. So I don't spend all of my time offline doing Twitch stuff. That's the first thing, because some people think that this could be a full-time process, right? Mm-hmm. I find time around my schedule between real life and live time on Twitch to do a couple things like social media and attending other people's streams, not just places where I'm a regular in, but finding new people that meet my community, kind of, I want to say standard, because I don't want to just go to any other streamer.
Right. Sure.
But find people that mesh with my ideals, right? I'm not going to go get somebody that's pro certain one political kind of concept or whatever. So I reach out to those. I'll go watch Twitch channels, and sometimes like on lunch at work, I'll see who's live, because there's different people in different necks of the world around, that are live. So I found some people that way. I've met a couple of really, really cool newer streamers that are on after me by doing that, actually.
Gotcha.
So that's more of a networking perspective. But some of the other stuff that I've done is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook for those who like using Facebook, and Discord. A lot of graphics work to just publicize myself there, right? So you've got chatting with people in their streams, you've got graphical work on social media, and then the other thing, which is a controversial topic, some people don't like it. I know where you stand on it. Sometimes, given the nature, giveaways and advertising those. I've done giveaways from anything of a free sub to my channel, all the way up to rather expensive gaming figures that align with what I'm painting. So I have found unique ways to fund it, which is definitely a different conversation. But I don't want people to think that you have to spend money to grow on Twitch. You can do it that way. But,
sure.
So each of these you can take individually or put them all together. Those are the three big ways that have really helped me.
Okay, awesome. So let's unpack that a little bit then. So the four big areas I heard are social media, just in general, just using social media, spending time in other people's streams and finding streamers that kind of fit your identity and what you believe and what you stand for, what's your stream, graphics work, which kind of ties into social media, and then giveaways. And I'm interested to unpack all four of these. So let's start with social media in general.
Okay.
What are maybe some of your favorite social medias to use, and how do you try to use them efficiently or the most effectively when you're not streaming?
Well, it's going to be a little different in the creative side on how some of the social media works, because I have it easier than a gaming streamer for some social media. I take a picture of what I just did and post it on Instagram or post it on Twitter or put it in my Facebook page. So it's like pre-made for me right there. I just did this, or I'm about to do this. And a lot of creative streamers will, instead of taking a picture of themselves, like I've seen a lot of gamers in front of their computer monitor making a funny face, like we're ready to go, or showing their keyboard or something. I mean, that's great, and that's exactly the concept. But when my content of what I'm painting every night is different, it's like, this is what's up. You think we can get this done tonight, or this is what we just got finished, kind of thing. So it's easier on that creative side, I would say, to just snap the picture of that content. But gamers have it just as easy too, right?
Right.
You got a fancy new keyboard, we're setting this up, we're ready to game tonight, kind of thing. I group Discord in with social media, which might be
I agree with that.
Yeah. I'm in over 50 Discords. It's a lot of work, but it's great to network. Sometimes there's whip galleries, so work in progress, or finished work from the creative side, or there's different Discords that have advice pages and stuff like that. I will just periodically pick a couple at a time and just go through and look at some of the active conversation and jump in. Right? So whatever you can throw in that's a quick and easy and not forced contribution really helps get you a good social media presence, because if you're out there, it doesn't really matter what's out there as long as it aligns with you.
Right. You're just making eyes see you, basically, at the end of the day. Well, okay, so you're in over 50 Discords, which is pretty crazy, and you're using social media a lot. Do you have sort of like a game plan or a method to that madness, of maybe like a ritual that you do each day?
Yes and no. The ritual is when I'm working, if I work from home, or when I'm at work and have some downtime between meetings, lunch, whatever, I'll pull up one of the social media aspects that I'm just kind of focusing on. It's rarely Facebook, I'll be honest. I'll grab Twitter or Discord and just go out and check out like what's the active conversation, right? Maybe I'll see some creative streamers that I'm following, or I'll see some TRUgaming streamers that I'm following make some posts and, retweets or replies, or maybe there's some news of something going up and I want to make a reminder. I'll just quickly knock it out and then put it out of mind. It makes it easier for me to just kind of keep pace of social media without feeling overwhelmed by it. Like you hang up the phone, you got your cell phone in your hand, just load up Twitter. Let's just see the first few posts. Oh, that reminds me, I've got an event this weekend. I should probably remind people. Put your phone away, and it 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
So super easy stuff like that. And it balances, right? Because if you sit in front of a computer all day, you're going to want to go back and stream again too. Like you get worn out.
Yeah, sure. Wow. Okay. So I apologize for that alert, guys. I turned off the alerts now. Again, the magic of this little tablet with slobs. But yeah, so it is really interesting to hear how you kind of, you don't use Facebook as much, which I think is smart based on my own opinions, but it sounds like you kind of focus on one at a time, as opposed to, you don't have any sort of set, at this time I will go into this many Discords and post this. It's much more like, okay, today I'm going to focus on this social media or something.
Sure.
For this amount of time. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, it's more structured when it's time to go live. I do have a routine, and it involves posting in specific Discords. It involves posting on my Facebook, sharing it on specific groups, and then hitting Twitter. So I have that rundown, but it's mostly I made one post, copy, paste everywhere. So in that regard, yes. But keeping up with social media, no. There's no schedule. I'm not going to go on Wednesday at lunchtime, jump into these 5.
Right. Sure.
Then that's work.
And yeah, because we're talking off stream technically too, right? So, you also mentioned pictures a lot, and all the examples you mentioned of, whether you're a creative streamer taking pictures of what you're making, or just a regular streamer taking pictures of your keyboard or yourself or your setup. Do you use pictures in most of your offline posts as well?
I should be.
Okay.
I'll be honest, when I'm doing my quick run through of Twitter, and I kind of feel like a lot of people do the same thing, when you're just scrolling through and you're finding things that catch your eye, whether it's tags, whether it's pictures, videos, stuff like that. So I have been taking more photos for Instagram and Twitter of what I'm going to do or what I have done. And those should be showing up more and more on my social media to catch the attention, because when I'm reading what other people are doing, you see 2 lines of text, it's easy to just scroll right past, to be honest.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next bit here, which is spending time in other streamers' chats or watching other streamers. Generally, like, what are some of your main strategies while doing that? How do you find people? How long do you spend on each person's stream? All that kind of stuff.
So usually, if I'm getting to know somebody, unless right away I notice that they're not a fit for like my style, I will stay with that streamer until they finish what they're doing. So ending stream or time for me to go to bed, whatever. I rely on my community to help me with that. I've got some really strong moderators that know what I'm looking for, and some nights I will leave stream into a new person's channel. I'll raid right into somebody brand new that might have 3 people. And that's one of the ways I'll drop in and get to know them. So now they know, 1, I'm a streamer. It's a little selfish, but they'll know I'm a streamer. I don't have to have that awkward, hey, this is what I do, because I don't believe in that mentality. I'll drop in there and hang out with them and just chit chat about what they're going on with. Since it's already late for me, I'll hang out for a good maybe 30 minutes and then, all right, sorry to raid and run, but I got to head to bed. It's late here. So that's one tactic. Sometimes I'll do it, again, during the working day on lunch. Don't do it while you're actually working.
Wink, wink.
I'll do it while I'm on lunch, or there are some people that I know well enough that I can listen to in the background on like audio only. So that's another tactic, is you find somebody that you can just listen to and contribute a little bit of chat to, like, hey, how's it going? What are we working on today? You know, I'm in and out, I'm working. I always love telling somebody that I'm working because I don't like to be that one streamer who comes in and says, "Hey, how's it going?" and then vanish.
Yeah.
I love having people on my channel, but that's a dagger for me because why are they not talking anymore? I get that they can't talk the whole time, but are they gone?
Right. Yeah.
So
you know how it is being a streamer and having to deal with makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you spend a lot of time, so you go deep rather than wide with your stream time, right? So you spend a lot of time in one person's stream at a time, as opposed to maybe spending 5 minutes in a lot of people's streams. It's really, you pick one person and you stick with that person for a while. Why is that?
I don't think that they can get to know you if you're just going to come in real quick, say, "Hey, what's up," and leave. I can get to know them. I know what I'm looking for in a streamer that I want to watch. Forgetting my networking perspective. As a viewer, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'll find it right away, usually. But I don't know what they're looking for in somebody that's just a viewer, right? I want to get to know a little bit more about them to see if I'm a fit for their style. So because it goes both ways to me. I'm not just going to click follow on somebody and just lurk in their stream because you need a number. You have less than 10 viewers. You just need a number. I want to come in and actually be a part of your stream as a viewer of yours, right? I don't need the attention. I don't need you to call me out and shout me out all the time. I think that relationship, in order to grow with other streamers, you need to have it both ways.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. I think that's the best way to spend your networking time. Pick one person at a time and really go in on that person. So how do you find people usually to watch? Is it just through Twitch? Is it through social media, Discord? For someone maybe who doesn't know where to find someone to start with, what would you suggest?
Well, right now it's honestly communities. I'll browse creative and I'll go down to certain communities that I'm looking for, whether it be painting or miniatures, because those are two of my community tags I use right now. Going forward, I would more than likely look at the hashtag painting or miniature figure. So tags and communities are very important for the creative folks, I honestly think, because we're all grouped up as one word. We're all creative. You can cook, you can play a guitar, everything. It all falls under the same category. So I will sometimes go and look there, or my friends list, right? We talked about, I've heard on other casts talking about your friends list. People that I know and trust enough to put on my friends list, I'll see that they're watching people. And I know that they're creative streamers as well. So who's this? I haven't seen this person before. I'll drop in and see what they're watching. And I've met new streamers that way too.
I think you're the first person to talk about a positive way to use the friends list on this show.
Well, when you're in a small space that's got an obvious ceiling, you have to be able to take even the most mediocre features and use them to your advantage. So yeah, I might be one of the only people who likes the friends list.
Yeah, and I like you mentioned communities too. For anyone who doesn't know, they are phasing out communities by like the end of September in favor of tags, I guess, or like a mix of new categories and tags. So just so you are aware of that. Okay, so next piece you mentioned is graphics work.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of ties in with social media a lot, but what kind of graphics work has really helped you to grow your stream while you're not streaming?
I have a template that is almost the exact same post every time. A lot like how you would do the stream key. It's similar concept each time, different people's faces and different text. I have a template that's been made. A couple of friends throughout the last 6 months have helped me contribute to make it evolve. But I take a template, right? That's how you save time. You take your template and you just put out there what you're doing, right? So I've got an event this weekend. I made just that same template, just edited the text to say the name of the event, the date and time, and then a summary, like a couple of words and what's happening. If I'm not doing that, my Monday night stream is themed around mentor. It's called Mentor Monday. I'll just edit the text from the event itself to Mentor Monday, this Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. And it's the same thing, like 30 seconds a time, edit it, and then I just post it out there. And I do that, or sometimes a picture of me with that over it. Like, Instagram stories, right? Instead of that, just snap a picture of me and put that on there. So I found a way to kind of brand my graphics in a way that it might look different to you. It might look nice to you every time. To me, it's the same thing.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. And like you said, just having more pictures with your posts always just grabs more attention. So it makes sense. So when you're doing this graphic making, basically that process, what software to use to do it usually?
Affinity Designer.
Okay.
I am, if you ask my wife, I'm very cheap. It's about a $50 or $60 piece of software. It gives me what I need without going into Adobe. Now, Photoshop is significantly better and more powerful, and I could probably do numerous things easier and better than I could on this tool. But this gives me what I need to get my job done.
And it's fairly easy to do, right? Okay. Yeah, if you guys don't know, GIMP is another software that is free.
Yep.
And you don't need Photoshop to make simple graphics, and they do really increase the engagement and the attention on your posts. So I definitely recommend doing that and having a template, trying it out and seeing what difference it makes for you, for sure.
Right.
Okay, last piece here is giveaways. And you seem to have, well, you mentioned that, you don't think you have to really put that kind of money into your stream for it to grow, but you also seem like you're sort of passionate about giveaways. So I want to hear your perspective on that.
So from a creative standpoint, you're seeing me paint something up. You're not watching me play the same game, right? I'm not playing Fortnite or PUBG or whatever the popular hot release is right now. I'm painting different figures, sometimes for friends and sometimes for myself. And I feel like my community has gotten interested in, I want that, right? That's unique. It's an individual thing. Sure, they make the same model and I can buy thousands of them, a couple bucks a piece, just collect them over time. But I can personalize them to you, to what you want. I'm trying something right now where there's a little $15 box for me. I'm taking 3 of the models out of the box, and 3 people are getting one custom painted to their design. It takes me an hour or 2 to paint each one. It costs me $15. So I'm not spending a ton of money, and I'm going to send you your own, let's call it a piece of history, right? Because I'm doing it for a special event to me.
Sure.
So it's connected to that now. And I feel like, at least the way I run my community, that there's that other bond that really helps, right? So you can use giveaways to your advantage if it meets you. You don't have to go buy the game you're playing and say, hey, at the end of the week, or hey, at the end of the month, you can win a copy of the game, or, you don't have to do any of that. You can, but it depends on what kind of crowd you want to bring in. I've actually failed with giveaways too, which is probably even more helpful than the good ones.
Right.
Right. I gave away a $200 piece of gaming terrain, or a gaming figure. It was actually last month. It was my best month ever on Twitch. I decided not to spend that kind of money this time around. And again, I found legitimate ways to fund it so I don't hurt my own wallet. But we funded it. We ordered it. A good friend of the stream won it. So it was great and happy for everybody. I had over 100 viewers watching this happen.
Wow.
I have 40 viewers this month.
Dang.
I'm not giving out a $200 game piece.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
So if you're going to spend the money and push it, you can't stop. So that's where giveaways, that's where you have to find that balance, right? I'll give away stickers. I'll give away a $5 model. You can balance it out based on your community's needs, but you really have to work, one, with your mods, talk to your Discord, talk to your community and say, look, this is what we're thinking about doing. This is what I want behind it. And listen to them. There's been plenty of people who have told me, you're crazy, don't do this.
Wow. Yeah, so you brought up a good point there. I mean, if you are running giveaways and expecting people to come out and watch it because of the giveaway, then what do you think is going to happen when you don't have that giveaway anymore? So that's really important to consider. I am kind of curious how this ties into the off-stream portion. So what does the behind the scenes look like of giveaways?
So that template that I mentioned about my event or about Mentor Monday, that's my giveaway template too. I don't just announce that I'm doing the giveaway for one day. Now, I know I've seen streamers, we're going to give away this one item on this day, come this day. My giveaways are month long. So August giveaway is the painted figures. So come hang out all month. I'm using stream currency, which is not tied financially, right? People can sit in there without spending a dime and get currency in the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rewarding the loyalty of the viewer, not the loyalty of the wallet, to sit in the channel and hang out. And I'm advertising that, and I'm putting it in my Discord, and other friends are sharing it out. It's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's everywhere, and people come in, and now they're hanging out. Well, what are we watching while I'm earning these points? And then they engage in the channel, and people have stayed because of it. People have left because of it too. Don't get me wrong, but it's using the social media to get that out there. I do realize when you open the world to giveaways, you only appeal to specific types of viewers, and there is a concept of the I want it for free, or I want it for me kind of, if you're not giving me anything, I'm not going to be here. So
Sure.
you run that risk, but it still is a viewer. You still have the chance of showing them that there's more to your channel than just a giveaway, right? And I'm not giving away anything that you need. You want it. So I put that together at my social media, and I use it as a form of marketing, right? You get to see how I do it. I'm going to paint the models on Mentor Mondays, so everyone gets the recorded video of how I did it. So I'm using all that together to play into my specific events that help my community grow.
Gotcha. So lots of just offline or off-stream planning, all the behind-the-scenes stuff in terms of setting up point systems and finding ways to promote it and work with other streamers. And so, yeah, that's all the legwork that you can't really do on stream, which I think is important to talk about when you're talking about giveaways, for sure. Awesome. So those are the kind of the 4 big areas that you mentioned. So I'm glad we got through those. And I'd like to get your kind of unique take on what the best ways to spend your time off Twitch are. I think we talked about those pretty well here so far. I want to kind of give more Q&A time for this episode than usual, because I'd like to get people's kind of specific questions about things. Before we do that, really quickly here, I always like to ask this question just in general. If you give one piece of advice to a brand new Twitch streamer, what would you tell that person?
Well, I still think this is my favorite question, because I've answered it, I feel like, a few times. My answer to anybody is always just, it's cold, but shut up and stream. Like, that's it. Everybody comes in the channel, I'm thinking about getting started. Okay, why haven't you started? Like, if you want to do it, give it a shot. You don't need a camera. You should have at least one camera for some creative stuff, but to play games or to do certain things, you can just go live. They don't need to see your face.
Right.
I mean, if you're nervous about what people are going to think of what you look like, turn your face cam off and just, paint or play a game or whatever. That's it. Just do it.
Completely agree. Yeah, that's my biggest thing too, is just stop making excuses, stop waiting for it to be perfect, and just do it. I'm all about that. So, all right, so let's get into Q&A, guys. And I apologize because I just realized that 11:30 is still up on the screen, and it is not 11:30. It is 3 o'clock. So, but viewer Q&A is open. So if you guys have a question for GamerDadNC or myself about anything, now's the time to ask it. Also, thanks for all the subs in chat that we missed. I had to turn off the overlay for Streamlabs so that we didn't get all the sound and music to overlay it, but we see those. We appreciate those. We love you guys. So if you have a question for us, tag at GreenChord, at GamerDad, at TRUgaming, so we see it in red, and we will get to your questions right now. Now's the time. So, okay, Hannah Hanabi says, GamerDad, who's your favorite person to hang with while you're not streaming? Also, not streaming, so.
Can I decline to answer?
Oh, yeah?
Hannah, can I? No, she's messed with me. She's actually a very good friend of the program.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, she's very close to the top of that list of people to hang out with because she's a very wholesome person. She aligns with a lot of the same styles and personalities I have and look for in a community. So I would say she's one of them. A good friend of mine that I met through one of our charity events here when we got involved with the Funcom Stack Up event. Britt Wolf from one of the other teams has become a very good friend of mine to hang out with when I'm not live.
Gotcha.
So, it depends. It depends on the time of day, really, because certain people have to work, certain people are not able to stream at other times. It really differs, but that style of person is my favorite kind of person. So if anybody's ever met Hannah or Britt, they know kind of laid back, relaxed, completely themselves. Like I'm not a fan of the character style of streamer. So anybody who can show their true personality as themselves on stream is the kind of person that I like.
Sure. And you met her through a streaming event, it sounds like, basically.
I met her
through Brit Wolf, through a streaming event.
Hannah and Brit Wolf are unrelated, but they're similar style of streamers.
Okay.
I met Hannah through creative. I think I met her as a moderator through one of the really big creative streamers in my community.
Okay.
So
gotcha. Just trying to trace,
Sure.
When you're not streaming, how do you find these people to meet and connect with? And it sounds like it's a lot of just staying in that directory.
And I'll pay her for saying that she's one of my favorites. I'll pay her later.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Okay, so Sodomi said, what would you both say is more effective, being a part of other people's streams or content, or making something your own on a separate platform? I think he missed some of the text there, but question being basically, what is sort of more time effective? Is it better to be a part of other people's streams and network and try to grow a community through that way? Or is it really better to focus on yourself as much as you can, potentially on a separate platform?
That's tough because I don't think it's one or the other. I really do think it's both. I don't think you can be your own streamer and not work with anybody else and potentially be successful. You will be you'll be a specific style of streamer. You will be. I mean, look at Dr. Disrespect, right? He doesn't really go out with. I mean, he's his own character, right? Mm-hmm. And he's very made, right? He is himself. He plays with some other people occasionally, but he's like, it's all about him on his stream. But then you look at other people, like Ninja will sometimes stream with other people, like Tim the Tatman.
I think even Dr. Disrespect does too.
He'll have people, I think I've seen him occasionally on Discord with other people, like some good friends of his. Mm-hmm. But I've really, from the limited channel, I don't personally, I'm not a fan personally of the stream content. I don't want to get into any of his other, sure. But of his stream content, I'm just not a fan because I don't like the game or the character. But it felt more like even when he does have his friends, it's a lot more about him, right? They're there to support him, which is not a bad thing. It's just that's an individual type of streamer versus seeing somebody who will have groups together. Now, I think doing one to an extreme is bad. I think if you're always streaming with other people or always streaming alone, you're asking for trouble. I think you do need to have a mix, right? You need to be known for some of your friends as well as being known for yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think I know a single streamer who really does solo streams or doesn't ever interact with another streamer in some capacity.
They probably don't have a lot of viewers.
Yeah, well, I would say maybe there's some that have kind of grown, but even those, I don't know every streamer on the platform, but sure. There are probably some people who have gotten very big by themselves, but now the majority of the streams I see are streamers streaming with each other, somehow interacting with each other, whether it's podcasts or some sort of network opportunity. I can't think of a single example of someone who's just had no interaction with other streamers and been able to go really huge. If someone knows an example, I'd love to see it. But personally, I think that it's sort of inevitable. Like if you want to grow on Twitch, you're going to have to network in some capacity. Right. You cannot be a lone wolf and try and make it on this platform, especially anymore. Maybe back in the day when it wasn't as crowded, there weren't as many people, but these days that's what Twitch is all about, really, is networking. So you're going to have to do it. Okay, so Meemaw said, have you tried out other platforms and what did you like or dislike, if so? So have you tried out Mixer, YouTube, anything like that?
I actually have a YouTube channel. I've streamed to it just once for various reasons, but since I do a tutorial-based setup, I have an overlay that I switch to when I'm doing live on-screen recording. My moderators step into chat, and then I record the session instead of just letting it be live and interactive. I'll highlight it out, download it, and put it to YouTube. So I'm growing that channel, and periodically when it comes to like surprise tutorials, people have been asking a lot of questions and I don't have enough time on a single stream to cover them. I'll just go like on a Saturday or Sunday while the family's taking a nap. I'll just go live on YouTube real quick. So it's out there already preset with that overlay. So it's not a fun environment.
No.
It feels like I'm starting all over. It does, but I'm more of using YouTube for a repository for the tutorial content.
It's also kind of a cool idea is to use it as, you can use another platform as sort of a less pressure stream, if that makes sense. Like if you are trying to create a certain image and culture and brand on Twitch, but you want to, maybe you have like an off day, you're going to be playing games anyway or something, or doing stuff anyway, but you don't really feel like streaming your main channel, you could use an alternate on YouTube or Mixer. That's kind of a cool idea. So I like that. Thanks for the question, Meemaw. Hannah has another question. Hannah Hanabi. She says, what's the most valuable thing you've learned in the past couple of months, even if it seems like a silly little thing? That's a good question.
Honestly, the partner push concept. I've learned a lot about that and how you can lose your stream into that concept. Now, you've heard me before talk about all affiliates, well, most affiliates are on a partner push period, right? We got affiliate, we want to be partners, therefore we are pushing for partner. I personally don't want to use the tag. I've learned there's a right way and a wrong way to do that, because even just saying I don't like saying I'm pushing for partner will offend streamers that I know and like that are actively pushing for partner, tagging their stream and everything. So it's a controversial thing, but I've learned that by having my opinions on that topic, I can't please everybody. I can't make everybody happy, right? I will offend somebody with my opinion. And that rolls into everything else I do on stream. Not everybody will like the one thing that I'm doing, whether we're looking at my computer screen for the whip gallery on my Discord during a stream. I'll turn and look at my computer screen and we'll scroll through all the pictures, and they'll be up on OBS for you to see. But some people are like, well, this is so boring. Why doesn't he just paint? Why do I have to look at all these pictures? Not everybody will like everything that I do. And the controversy around push to partner, my opinion of I don't like tagging it kind of stuff, made me learn that not everybody will like what I'm doing. And there's been a couple of really big streamers that I have privately brushed up against and had some off-stream conversations with where we just don't agree. And I had to learn to accept that. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, at some point, I think every streamer kind of learns that you can't just please everyone with your content. And that's actually, you have to not please everyone if you want to get anywhere. But I am kind of curious, as a side note on that, why don't you like push to partner? What's the reasoning behind that?
So personally, in a small community, if I tag my title with push for partner, it's either going to push you away or force people into me and not allow the rest of the community to grow. So I have seen streamers, when they're like, all right, we're done with stream, we're going to find a target to raid. Oh, so-and-so's live and they're pushing for partner, we're going over there. They're sitting at 100 viewers. I've seen other people that I'm following, that I know the streamer's following, at 5 viewers, good friend of theirs, completely overlooked, because they feel obligated to go raid the push to partner, because if they get partner and I helped them get there, they owe me something. So I feel like it gives the wrong message to the other streamer on how to support, when you can privately speak with I've spoken with several of my streamers, like, guys, I really want partnership. I'm not going to force it. I know that there's other people actively right on the cusp of making it, but we all know that's a long-term goal of mine. Like, we need to work together with each other. I just don't want to do something that I feel will change the behaviors of other people in the community to take away from spreading the love of the community. It's not all about me in creative, and I worry from what I've seen happening that tag makes it only about you. And that's not the streamer's intent. So any streamers that are watching this that are tagging themselves, I don't necessarily am meaning to imply that you're selfish and want it all about you, but it's the mentality of the other people watching you that might get the wrong perception and feel like they need to come over to the channel.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to unpack that, because I think I agree in terms of, so you're talking specifically about tagging it, like putting it on the title of your stream, making a big social media push, like, hey guys, we're pushing this, as opposed to, like you said, everyone wants to push to partner.
Right.
Maybe they're even making like a concerted effort for it, but they're not telling everyone about it. And
you can even say something in stream. We're climbing our way to partner, guys. We're moving
Right.
up. Averages are coming up. Yeah, but it's advertising it.
sure, yeah, but it's not like building that as this is what we're doing this guys month, or this is what we're doing this month, guys. Really pushing for partner. That's what the stream's all about. When you start to kind of blur the identity of the stream around just getting partner, that's when it becomes a problem. That's your thought. Okay, I agree with that. All right, so we have a lot of chat here. Let's get through here a little bit. Thank you guys all for asking the questions and everything. So, any other questions? Make sure you guys tag us so we see them in bright red, because I'm trying to scroll through the chat here. So, Hannah Hanabi had a follow-up question who said, would you rather have 100 viewers who are quiet or 30 viewers who are all actively chatting, and why?
Oh, Hannah, you're setting me up. These are easy answers. I love you, though. 30 viewers who are all actively chatting. I would give up my chance at pushing. I'd give up my chance at partnership numbers of lurkers doing nothing to have an active conversation, because that's my community. I'm live on Twitch because I want to talk to people while I'm doing what I'm doing. So I would rather just sit and have a good time, casually paint, show you what I'm doing, engage in subject matter that you're interested in, as opposed to somebody jokingly compares me to Bob Ross because of how calm my stream can be at night, especially with some of the music. But I don't want to be Bob Ross just sitting there quietly like, we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of blue on this guy's head, and then we're going to do this. And I don't want to just sit there and narrate what I'm doing while chat's just dead.
Right.
I would fall asleep on my own stream. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. I mean, you preach, it's not all about the numbers. You're just talking about followers earlier. I mean, it's the same thing really with the chat. So I agree with that one for sure. People talking about Bob Ross. I mean, who doesn't want to be Bob Ross for sure? All right. Any other questions are missing here? If we don't have any questions, while we're waiting for some more to come in here, I had a question about, so one of the things we didn't talk about with off-stream planning is, off-stream activities is planning. So let's talk about like the process of deciding what you want to do for the month or the year or goals for the stream. Have you gone through that process at all? Okay. What did that look like for you?
I've talked about it live on stream. I've talked about it in Discord. My stream is strictly community based. So they're only most decisions that I make about the stream content is going to have input from viewers, whether it be just my mods in a private channel or it be the whole community. Guys, I'm thinking about doing this for this month's giveaway. Like, what do you guys think of this idea? Like, if we paint this up, or if we order this, or if we don't do anything, what do you guys think? What do you like better? Because I'm not going to give away like a pack of paintbrushes if everyone's like, we don't even like those, like they're garbage. Who's going to come watch that? So I do get the input from my community. I also, believe it or not, work it out with my wife, because some of my plans involve changes in schedule, or longer streams, or maybe some additional setup time, or running errands down the road to a big game store to get the product I need for the stream. So I talk to everybody impacted by the decision. I'm the final decision, unless I'm talking to my wife, and then we both make the final decision together. But it's all community, right?
Is that generally on or off stream, those discussions,
Both.
the community? Okay.
I'll use my Discord, and I'll use sometimes live on stream. I'll throw the original idea out there, and then we'll sometimes talk about it offline. I'll throw the final decision out there live as well. It's normally supported by a graphic, because the same graphic I put on Twitter, I have a GIF bot that will pop up the graphic on stream as well.
Gotcha.
When I'm displaying it.
So that's generally for working out like new ideas to bring to the stream or directions for the stream kind of in the near future with the chat. Okay. Do you ever kind of sit down and think through or write down or any sort of planning basically for long term with the stream, your own kind of individual goals with it maybe?
Yeah. So I haven't written it all down because they're pretty simple, right? Partnership, long-term goals, partnership, and a large con.
Okay.
I want to be at a large con as GamerDad. Now that's me. Everybody who knows me in person still knows me the same way, but I would like GamerDad to go to an event. And so those are the two really big things. Now, how do I get there is the stuff that I work out short term.
Right.
So maybe do some funding, do some things in the background that I can raise money to make it to an event. Like personally, do some commissions or pull aside some of my Twitch money, whatever. So that I fix the problem of not being able to pay for it by planning it.
Sure.
For partnership, it's not just drive to 75. Right? I know what my concurrent viewership is now. I know how it's growing. So a realistic goal would be to get to this average viewership by the end of the month. If we don't get there, okay, so that's still the goal. Like month to month, this is the average viewership I'd like to grow to. And if I'm not getting there, I will reevaluate maybe what I'm doing on social media. Am I out enough? Am I in too many Discords over here that don't help me with anything? So I'll look and see where my social media interaction is working at the time to balance it out. Because if I'm putting too much time on the Twitter and I'm not getting a lot of Twitter interaction, I'll reduce my Twitter posts and switch it up to a different platform that I'm on.
Sure.
So I use my long-term goals to evaluate how I'm hitting them or not hitting them or trending towards them to change and adjust my social media reach.
Sure. So you have a lot of like long-term visions and goals for where you want to hit. And it sounds like month to month, you're kind of brainstorming and experimenting with, okay, is because there's no right path to get to those points, right? So each month you're kind of trying a different strategy. Well, if I change up my strategy on Twitter, is that going to make the difference? If I maybe make a different push on Instagram. So that makes a lot of sense, right? Because again, if you don't know what the right way to get there is, just try things until you find something that works. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. And people should definitely think about that and be intentional with something each month, right?
Correct. And because if you go too crazy and write out a whole business plan for what you want to do, then it becomes work. And I've always told people if doing something on Twitch feels like an obligation, I'm quitting Twitch because I want it to be casual for me.
Sure. I think you can see Twitch as work in a sense without it being an obligation.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, you have to put effort behind it. Yes. But when I say work, I mean 9 to 5 job. I have to get up. I have to now do this. If I don't do this, then this is going to fail. And if I start stressing like that, that's the kind of work I'm talking about that I don't want.
For sure. I mean, if you're in a place where you feel obligated to Twitch because, financially, like you're dependent on that to survive, or even if just like your identity is based on, I live and die by who I am on Twitch, that becomes a problem.
Right.
But I do think it is worth, if you want to grow on Twitch, taking it more seriously. And I personally would probably do like a business plan or something. I wouldn't say that is too wrong in and of itself. It just depends on sort of where you are mentally with it.
Right. Well, and again, I'm thinking like corporate America style, like full length, in depth, kind of crazy, overly drawn out business plan. It's one thing to write down your goals and write down your targets to get there. I mean that is a business plan in its definition, but I'm talking about drawing it back into a job style thing. That's where I get worried that's too far for me.
Gotcha.
I like to keep my goals personally simple. I've got 2, and how I get there each month and check in with them each month, it's kind of how I tweak. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, but if you've got different goals out there, then you could write them down. I mean, I've seen people write them down. They've even right there on stream, this is what we're working on, and they're going to write it down and come up with it with the community. So, I mean, that's fine.
Sure.
It's perfectly fine. I don't take a lot of notes.
Yeah.
If people haven't noticed. But.
That's all right. Cool. I just want to get that opinion on that. Okay, let's move through here a little bit. If you see a question, okay, I see one here from Miss Fatal Kisses, actually. It says, would you say growing your channel offline includes spending time to update things like your setup/alerts, keeping things refreshed? Is that part of the process?
Yes. Yeah. I have to reset my overlays each week with TrueTalk. So I typically, if I'm updating some alerts and stuff like that, I've got a little bit of time that I allocate before each stream, so I can have time at the computer to take care of some stuff, and I'll make note of what needs to be fixed. Like right now, my webcam doesn't come up anymore, my face camera, so I can't just go live this weekend without it. So I need to take time, need to figure out what's wrong. So I'll allocate some time on the weekend or on one of my nights off to look at it. But I won't be doing as much social media that night, or I won't be as active in a Twitch channel that night. So I will balance when those maintenance needs come up. I will sometimes reduce the social media outreach a little bit at that time to fix it.
Sure. Yeah. So it's being intentional with each of those days, right? Yeah, I think it's a good topic, especially also talking about, I think like in that sort of situation, it's a maintenance thing where you're just updating something you already have.
Right.
But I do think that this also would factor into maybe you want to do a rebrand, or you want to add new scenes that you haven't had before or something. That's also part of this process for sure.
When it comes to that aspect, your social media is also your best friend though, because maybe you've got a little design of it or part of it kind of completed. I saw another streamer, one of the True affiliates, do this. She took some images of part of her new overlay coming and posted them on Twitter. And it's like, it's coming soon. So you build the mystery, you build the hype. You take the images you already have out there, so you're not putting a lot of work into extra graphics.
Sure.
And you just socialize it. So and it'll help because someone's like, "What's this? What's going on?"
Yeah. I'm a big fan of teasers, as you saw from our True streaming stuff. So love it.
I see one other question that's probably I'm using to answer the weirdest troll comment I had while streaming.
Okay. Yeah. What was your weirdest troll comment you've gotten since streaming?
Somebody took my username and just added "is awesome" to the end of it. And then they came into my channel and acted like my biggest fan. Now, it was flattering, but then they started to talk stalkerish, but not like a threatening thing, but they started to talk like they know me really well, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. They're like, oh, I've just been lurking and following, so then I saw you and I created an account because I'm really a big fan. I'm still convinced it's somebody I actually know.
You never figured out who it was?
No, because they left the channel. They started to make the thing that made it weird was I was starting to get a little creeped out, and it takes a lot to make me uncomfortable. If you ask some people in my channel, it takes a lot to really ruffle my feathers, especially live. They really, really freaked me out with some of their comments to the point where I actually reported the account to Twitch. And then I spoke up to some of the TRUgaming judges who were also in my channel, and they started to investigate. They looked into the account, they started to ask questions, and they started telling that person that it might be my wife. And I'm like, no, the moment you start making my real life part of your game, you're done. And so I actually spoke up in chat. Said, look, I appreciate the fun. I don't know if you really are someone on an alternate account or if you're just a complete stranger. I'm having fun with some of the jokes. I said, but I draw the line when you involve my family in this. They are part of my stream, but when you start making them part of your joke and you start making it uncomfortable, then that's when I have to draw the line, and you got to go. And they vanished. Thin air, just gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So it got really, really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I think there are those viewers in every stream who just never say anything really until they come out of the woodwork. So potentially it could be someone who has been watching forever and just one day decide to actually make an account or something.
It could have very well been.
That's crazy. It's like a ghost story. I love it. All right, so we're kind of wrapping up here, but we have a couple more questions that are coming out. So if you guys have questions, now's the time to get them out. Hannah, actually, did Matt have a question? Yeah, Matt had a question. I want to get to him because he hasn't had a chance to ask yet. He said, what advice would you give if someone thinks their growth isn't what they think it should be and gets discouraged?
I really feel like my advice on this one is rather cold.
Sometimes that's the best.
There's two things. It's either, I mean, I've heard the argument that maybe streaming's just not for you. I really don't always agree with that. Because streaming is for everybody. If you're discouraged at what your growth is and you think it should be bigger, you need to do one of two things: reevaluate your goals and find out if they're realistic, because you might have set too high of a bar, or look at what you're doing and seeing if there's something you can change about your stream itself. Don't change who you are, don't just become a different character, but look at what you're doing. Am I playing a game and only focusing on the game and not talking to the community? Or am I talking too much and getting no gameplay? Look at your VODs and see what you're doing. So you're either reaching too far too fast, or you need to reevaluate how you're bringing out your content.
Interesting. So you said you think that anyone can stream on Twitch, basically. Streaming is for anyone.
Sure.
Do you think that anyone can succeed streaming on
Nope.
Twitch? Okay. I want to make that distinction.
Two very different things. I know people who stream only because they want the option for people to come out and check them out.
Sure.
I'm going to be at my computer anyway. Might as well go live. That's fine. That's who you are. You're not going to make partnership that way.
Yeah. I mean, practically, literally, anyone can stream, right? Streaming is designed for anyone to do. In terms of can everyone be successful on Twitch, whatever your definition of success is, probably not, because not everyone's built out for that, just like
Right.
not everyone's built to be the president, or not everyone's built to be whatever. Like any job out there, anyone's kind of got to fit, right?
Right.
And it's just a matter of maybe you're not that kind of person at the end of the day who's going to be the next ninja or even the next GamerDad or something, right? There's spectrums.
Now, those people who don't seem to cut it on Twitch, there are things that they can do to learn.
Sure.
Podcasts, watching past. I know it's kind of like marketing this on its own podcast, but podcasts like this, watching streamers who do stream coaching, a lot of that can help you, because if you're willing to listen to the things that you can modify, you can go from being somebody where you're not going to be successful to making yourself a successful person. Only the people on Twitch that are willing to give effort to success are the ones that will be successful on Twitch. It sounds kind of gimmicky, but
no, it's true. I mean, that's true with anything in life, right? I mean, if you want to get good at it, you have to put a lot of work in. So definitely agree with that. All right, last question here we'll take from Hannah Hanabi, who's just been dominating this episode. She says, I think this got lost in the chat. How important is it to you to provide benefits for subscribers above and beyond what Twitch provides? And what do you advise for growing streamers in that vein? So do you have sub perks of your own outside of, emotes, badges, etc.? Okay, what are those and why are they important?
Well, I don't. They are and are not important to me in different reasons. So they're marketing, because everybody wants extra stuff. Everybody wants free stuff. I think that for an affiliate, what little we get for a sub is what little benefit the sub gets to the channel doesn't really outweigh the cost of it, especially when you get past tier 1. So you're paying $5 to get a single emote. If you're not using Twitch Prime, you get ad-free space, because I don't do sub-only chat. I don't believe in sub-only chat. I'm not big enough to need that. So the literal 2 Twitch benefits that I can think of off the top of my head are ad-free chat and 1 badge for the $5. I don't really push for people to sub above that, because you're getting a second emote, period. And so I don't understand... from my channel, I don't understand the added benefit, so I can't convey that to you to make you spend it.
Sure.
So I've gone and added things. I love my Discord channel. I've got a great community. So I added in some things like you can have your own channel in my Discord. I've got a guest room. My channel is themed like a house. I've got the front porch, and I've got guest rooms in the guest house kind of thing. So you get your own chat channel. Wow. It's very easy because I have permissions set up. And all I have to do is just literally add a new channel and name it. I don't set it up specifically to your permissions. They're all public rooms, but you can have your own themed space for you to do whatever within reason. Inside of Hannah uses it for her whip sessions when she's live, for example.
Sorry to interrupt. Is it accessible to everyone or just that person and you?
Everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it gives them their own personalization. You get to be part of the Nightcap Discord. Right, you get to be a part of it. You get your own shared space in it. That gives you a little. It's my way of giving back to the community to let them. It's not just me. I'm not my community. I am a big part of it, but I am not my community, and that is what my stream is community. So that was a benefit. It fits with my style, though. Maybe not for everybody.
Right.
But it's easy for me to just create a room, and then if I've noticed someone isn't subbed anymore for a while, I'll close out the room. I mean, let's be honest, it's a sub perk.
Yeah.
The other thing is using a new bot that you told me about. People who are subscribed to the channel. I have my Discord linked to my Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
So people who are subscribed to the channel and get the sub permission or sub role in my Discord, they get a live now role. So they show separately in the list of users on Discord when they're live streaming. You have alert bots and stuff like that. I thought about making that a sub perk, but that's way too much maintenance.
Yeah.
The Discord links automatically to Twitch. It automatically assigns you permission if you're a subscriber. So if you're a subscriber and you're live, you show up separately. Super easy.
I think those are cool. I do think that the first example of creating an individual room for each person, that scares me a little bit in terms of like how that scales at a certain point to where the entire Discord is just all these random rooms of people. But I mean, it's definitely a cool perk that I haven't heard of before. So I think that's kind of what matters if you want to get some interesting perks. So cool. Thank you for the question, Hannah, of course. And everyone else has a question. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching the show. That is going to do it for today with GamerDadNC. So thank you so much for coming out and watching and being here, GamerDadNC. Anything you want to say to people before we kind of move on here, where they can find you, any of that?
I am all over the place. I don't have a YouTube URL yet because I don't have a big enough channel. But I don't have a customized URL. So I'll send that over to you so people can check out the tutorials. But I'm just on mostly Twitter, which is GamerDadNC. I don't think I have the underscores there.
Nope.
I do have the underscores on Twitch, and I think I do on Instagram. I have to double check. But it's GamerDadNC everywhere. Facebook is a little different, but we're working on changing that.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Cool. I have them up on the screen too if you guys want to check them out. The links are technically right there. So go check this out. Again, thank you all for coming out and watching. I really appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow for Phone In Friday, which is going to be a dicey one because we'll be going over the Ninja controversy, as well as some other good questions from viewers and anything else that you guys want to talk about. So that'll be at 11 tomorrow on this channel. We are going to raid someone after this is done, so stick around if you want to drop a love bomb on somebody. And thank you guys for watching. We will see you later. Let me get the Streamlabs software up here and see if it works. We will see you guys later. Goodbye.